Hi guys, welcome back to yet another video. My name is Martin. I'm filming this in my storage unit today. What I do on this channel is I show off 4 books from random and I end on a key issue. I have them here. And here, look, we have John Constantine on the back. So you can tell that it's a book from 2014. Okay, so it's very cold in here. I'll just mention that. But the first comic I want to show off is issue 3 of Dead Man. Whenever I see Dead Man, well, not all the time, but sometimes I think of Bronzeville Comics. So Jim of Bronzeville Comics, and he goes on about Dead Man and how Dead Man is a property for DC that hasn't yet met its potential, and it's like Iron Man was at the start of the MCU. I think you get the right actor, you get the right director, and you bring out a Dead Man movie, and people just go, "Wow, what is this? I need to see more of this. This is great." Visually, I think Dead Man is spectacular, but it also helps when the cover is by Jose Luis Garcia Lopez, who is the character. He is the artist for DC. Just cannot be beat. But just look, it's a really interesting cover, but it is a bit of a run of the mill story, admittedly. But it was up there, and it's one that I have read. So yeah, there we go. And also, it's got a couple of stickers on it. The next one I want to show off, and I'm trying to find the... Okay, so it's issue 37 of Richie Rich, but it's Richie Rich Gems. So Harvey, when Richie Rich was at its peak, it was bringing out all these kind of side titles. So you had Richie Rich Millions, you had Richie Rich Gems. They're escaping me. I think you even had like Cadbury. It was all about his butler. But yeah, so this is issue. I just said it. Issue 37 of Gems. I just wanted to show it off because it was up there, and I thought, not a lot of people on a lot of YouTube channels are showing off Richie Rich comic books. I don't know if the appeal is there for Richie Rich. There is the cost of living crisis going on, so people like Richie Rich see as kind of seen as the villain. But let me know what you think. Do you still read Richie Rich comics, and do you still enjoy them? So there we go. The next one I want to show off is, if I can get it, yeah, there we go. It's issue 31 of Astonishing X-Men. Oh, and it's a wraparound cover. So we've got, let's see, Cyclops and Emma Frost and Wolverine on the front, and on the back we have Storm and Beast, and we have Armor here. And I wish I knew who had drawn this. There's no name tag on there. I can't see. But if you're familiar with this artist and you can educate me, please do. I would appreciate it. So it's written by Warren Ellis, and it's drawn by Phil Jimenez. I enjoy Phil's work. I remember when he was on Wonder Woman. I really enjoyed every issue. It was quite wordy, admittedly, but there was a lot to take in. There was a lot to enjoy. Reading an issue of Wonder Woman by Phil Jimenez was an education in patience, in that when you started reading it, you would finish it about half an hour later because there was just a lot to take in. That being said, though, his artwork is spectacular, and for my money, you can't go past Warren Ellis for creativity, action sequences, flow of story. Just a standout writer, and I think this is one of the last books he wrote for Marvel, because he hasn't written anything for Marvel for a fair long while. I'm not particularly sure why. I don't really pay attention to creators' careers and where they move on to. I I'm the type of guy who I will see what's coming out in the next, say, 2 or 3 months, and if it looks good, I'll get it. And if it's done by creators who I'm familiar with, that's even better. But I try not to get into any industry gossip or you know, moving from one property to the next, especially like indie books. For the most part, I'm not particularly interested. I do prefer Marvel and DC, but there we go. It's Astonishing X-Men issue 31. Now, in the last two videos, I've been talking about MCU movies and key issues based on these MCU movies, but I haven't discussed DC movies for a while. We have a spate of movies coming out in the next few years, so the DC properties are going to be very interesting in terms of watching values of books go up, go down, people being interested in particular issues for particular reasons. This one that I'm going to show off, look, I'll just show it. It is Batgirl issue 35. It's, I believe this is a key in that it's Cameron Stewart's. Is it Cameron Stewart? Yeah, Cameron Stewart's first time on Batgirl, and she has this costume, which is more of a practical costume. So Cameron Stewart, I read a few issues of this. Actually, I think I read all of his issues. I'd have to double check and have a look. There's somewhere along here. But Cameron Stewart played up the detective angle for Batgirl. Really played up. Now with the Batman 66 series, we had Yvonne Craig. Was it Yvonne Craig? I think it was. Oh my god, I'm a mess. They introduced Batgirl into that series, and she was a real detective. She would take the time to do the boring stuff, to investigate crimes. But we had this issue here. We have this series where Cameron Stewart again played up Batgirl as a detective rather than as an action hero. And I remember when this came out, there was a lot of interest in the art style, in the way it was written. And then we had the Batgirl movie, which was cancelled. And just like a lot of movies that are cancelled, I'd love to watch it, just so I can make my own opinion about if it's good or bad. Because I'm steering along the avenue that it was a good movie. I live in hope that it was a good movie, but I guess we'll never know until Warner Brothers or I don't know, James Gunn say, you know what, let's just bring it out as a bit of a novelty. You know what, and I think if they did that, if they said this is a standalone movie, which is set in its own universe, it's not to be taken in canon, and we're releasing it because there's interest, and we're releasing it in cinemas only, I think there'd be interest in. I think people would go and see it. But we'll guess we'll never know. All right, guys. Thanks for sticking with me. I've got 6 more videos to film today, but I have to go warm up because it's cold. All right. Thanks, guys. I'll catch you next one. Bye.